Studies show that 78% of your online purchases are made on impulse. Not planned, not needed, just bought. And 62% of what you grab in stores, same thing. That means advertisers are controlling nearly 8 out of every 10 buying decisions you make without you even realizing it. Americans waste over $18,000 per year on purchases they later regret. And it's not an accident. Every color, every price tag, every word you see has been engineered using dark psychology to bypass your rational brain and go straight for your wallet. In the next 11 minutes, I'm breaking down all 15 manipulation tactics they don't want you to know about. Trick number 7 will make you question every purchase you've ever made. I've spent years studying how your brain makes decisions. What I found is disturbing. These aren't just clever marketing tricks. They're scientifically proven methods that exploit your cognitive biases, your emotions, and your deepest psychological vulnerabilities. By the end of this video, you'll see advertising completely differently. You'll recognize when you're being manipulated, and you'll save thousands of dollars every year. Let's start with the most dangerous one. Trick 1: scarcity manipulation. Only 3 left in stock. Limited time offer. Sale ends in 2 hours. This is scarcity manipulation, and it's designed to trigger your fear of missing out. Your brain perceives scarce items as more valuable, even when they're not. Amazon uses this constantly with their lightning deals. Apple does it with product launches. The psychology behind it? Loss aversion. You fear losing an opportunity more than you value gaining the same thing. So when you see that countdown timer, your rational brain shuts off and panic takes over. The fix? Ask yourself, did I want this 5 minutes ago before I saw the timer? If the answer is no, walk away. Trick 2: anchoring effect. You see a jacket, original price $200, sale price $89. Your brain immediately thinks, I'm saving $111. That's a great deal. But here's the dark truth. That jacket was never actually sold for $200. That inflated original price is just an anchor, a fake reference point designed to make $89 seem like a steal. The Economist ran a famous experiment with subscription pricing that proved how powerful anchoring is. They offered 3 options: digital only for $59, print only for $125, and print plus digital for $125. Nobody wanted print only, but its presence made the print plus digital option look like incredible value. When they removed the print-only Decoy, sales of the combo package dropped by 40%. Your brain doesn't evaluate prices in isolation. It compares them to whatever anchor it sees first. Retailers know this, and they exploit it ruthlessly. Trick 3: the decoy effect. You walk into a movie theater. Small popcorn, $6. Medium popcorn, $8.50. Large popcorn, $9. Which do you choose? Most people pick large, because compared to medium, it's only 50 cents more for way more popcorn. But here's what just happened. The medium option was never meant to sell. It's a decoy, strategically priced to make the large look like the smart choice. Without that medium option, you probably would have just bought the small, but the decoy manipulated your perception of value and made you spend 50% more. This works everywhere. Coffee shops, streaming services, phone plans. Whenever you see 3 pricing tiers, the middle one is almost always the decoy, pushing you toward the most expensive option. Trick 4: charm pricing. $10 feels expensive. $9.99 feels like a deal. Your rational brain knows they're basically the same price, but your subconscious doesn't process it that way. Studies show that prices ending in 0.99 or 0.95 increase sales by up to 24% compared to rounded numbers. Why? Because your brain reads from left to right and anchors on that first digit. $9.99 registers as $9, not basically 10. It's called charm pricing, and it's so effective that nearly 90% of retail prices use it. Even luxury brands that want to signal quality will use 0.95 or 0.00 strategically, depending on the psychological effect they want. The trick is so simple it feels stupid. but it works every single time. Trick 5. Removing the dollar sign. High-end restaurants never put dollar signs on their menus. You'll see steak $45 instead of steak $45. Why? Because the dollar sign triggers pain. Literally. Brain scans show that when you see a dollar sign, the pain centers in your brain activate. You feel the loss of money. But when the symbol is removed, that pain response decreases. You spend more freely because your brain doesn't register the transaction as losing money. Online retailers do this too. They'll say, add to cart for $29.99 instead of $29.99. It's a tiny visual change that dramatically increases conversion rates. Your brain is being tricked into thinking you're not really spending money. Trick 6. Color psychology. Red makes you feel urgency. Blue makes you feel trust. Yellow grabs your attention. Black signals luxury. This isn't random. Color psychology is a billion-dollar science. Fast food chains use red and yellow because they stimulate appetite and create urgency. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, all red and yellow. Banks and tech companies use blue because it signals trust and security. PayPal, Facebook, Chase, all blue. Luxury brands use black and gold because they signal exclusivity and premium quality. Even the Add to Cart button color is tested thousands of times. Amazon found that changing their button from blue to orange increased conversions by millions of dollars. Your emotional response to color happens in milliseconds before your conscious brain even processes what you're looking at. And advertisers weaponize this every single day. Trick 7. The shopping cart trick. Ever notice how shopping carts keep getting bigger? In the 1970s, the average grocery cart held about 60 liters. Today, over 240 liters. That's 4 times larger. Why? Because studies show that the bigger your cart, the more you buy. Your brain sees empty space and subconsciously wants to fill it. It's called the container size effect, and it works with everything. Bigger plates make you eat more food. Bigger cups make you drink more soda. Bigger carts make you buy more stuff you don't need. Costco takes this to the extreme with warehouse-sized carts and bulk packaging. You walk in for toilet paper and walk out with a kayak. The solution? Use a basket instead of a cart whenever possible. Or make a list and stick to it religiously. Trick 8. Eye level is buy level. Walk into any grocery store and look at the cereal aisle. The expensive brands? Right at adult eye level. The cheap generic brands? Bottom shelf where you have to bend down. The sugary kids cereals? Exactly at children's eye height. This is called shelf placement psychology, and grocery stores charge brands thousands of dollars for premium eye-level positioning. Why? Because products at eye level sell 35% more than products on other shelves. Your brain takes the path of least resistance. What you see first is what you're most likely to grab. Target does this brilliantly. They put impulse items at checkout lanes right at eye level while you're waiting in line. Phone chargers, candy, magazines, gift cards, all positioned exactly where your bored eyes will land while you're stuck in line. The defense? Always scan the top and bottom shelves. That's where the deals hide. Trick 9. The foot in the door technique. Would you like to try a free sample? Seems innocent, right? But the moment you accept that sample, your brain shifts. You've accepted something from them. Now you feel a subconscious obligation to reciprocate. This is the foot in the door technique, and it's devastatingly effective. Studies show that people who accept a free sample are 73% more likely to make a purchase. Not because the sample was amazing, but because accepting it created a psychological debt. Costco built their entire business model around this. Free samples everywhere. Software companies do it with free trials. Once you've invested time setting it up, you're far more likely to pay when the trial ends. Even charities use this. They send you free address labels with a donation request. You didn't ask for the labels, but now you feel guilty not donating. It's manipulation disguised as generosity. Trick 10. The endowment effect. Try it risk-free for 30 days. Sounds like a great deal, right? But here's what's really happening. They're exploiting the endowment effect. Once you possess something, even temporarily, your brain overvalues it. You become emotionally attached to it, and returning it feels like a loss. Research shows that people value items they own up to twice as high as identical items they don't own. Car dealerships perfected this with test drives. Once you've driven that car, imagined yourself owning it. Felt the steering wheel in your hands? You're 60% more likely to buy it. Mattress companies do this with 100-night trials. After sleeping on it for 3 months, returning it feels impossible, even if you don't love it. Online retailers use virtual try-on features for the same reason. Once you see yourself wearing those sunglasses in AR, you're already attached. The trick? Never take possession of something unless you're 100% sure you want it. Trick 11. Payment decoupling. Cash hurts. Swiping a credit card hurts less. Tapping your phone barely registers. This is payment decoupling, and it's why you spend 83% more when using cards versus cash. The more abstract the payment method, the less pain your brain feels. That's why casinos use chips instead of cash. Chips don't feel like real money. That's why apps like Uber and Amazon use one-click purchasing. No friction, no pain, just instant gratification. Subscription services take this even further. You authorize one payment, then forget about it. Netflix, Spotify, that gym membership you haven't used in 6 months. The average American has 12 active subscriptions and forgets about 4 of them. That's $240 per year on services you're not even using. The solution? Use cash for discretionary purchases. The physical pain of handing over bills makes you think twice. Trick 12. Social proof manipulation. Join 10 million satisfied customers. Best seller in electronics. 4.8 stars from 50,000 reviews. Your brain is wired to follow the crowd. It's a survival mechanism from our evolutionary past. If everyone else is doing it, it must be safe. It must be good. Advertisers exploit this relentlessly with social proof. But here's the dark part. A lot of it is fake. Studies show that up to 30% of online reviews are fraudulent, bought and paid for. Amazon has deleted millions of fake reviews, but millions more slip through. Even bestseller badges are manipulated. Authors buy thousands of copies of their own books in one day to hit the list, then return them later. The 10 million customers claim often includes anyone who ever visited the website. And those real customer testimonials? Sometimes they're stock photos with made-up names. Your brain sees the crowd and wants to join, but the crowd might not even exist. The defense? Look for verified purchases. Check multiple review sites, and trust your gut over the masses. Trick 13. Time pressure tactics. Sale ends at midnight. Only 2 hours left. Flash sale, 67% off now. Countdown timers are everywhere, and they work because they hijack your prefrontal cortex. That's the part of your brain responsible for rational decision-making. When you see time running out, your amygdala takes over. That's your fear center. Suddenly, you're not thinking about whether you need the product, you're panicking about missing the deal. Here's the really manipulative part. Most of these timers are fake. They reset when you refresh the page, or they restart every 24 hours. Fashion Nova does this constantly. Sale ends tonight. Then tomorrow, same sale. Different timer. Booking.com shows only 1 room left at this price, but that message appears for weeks. The urgency is manufactured. The scarcity is artificial. The fix? Screenshot the deal, come back in 24 hours. If it's still there, it was never really ending. Trick 14, the bait and switch. You see an ad, iPhone 14, only $299. You rush to the store, but when you get there, oh, that model just sold out. But we have the iPhone 15 for $899. This is bait and switch, and it's one of the oldest tricks in retail. They lure you in with an incredible deal on something they never intended to sell. Once you're there, you've already invested time and energy. You've built up excitement. So when they offer you the more expensive alternative, you're more likely to say yes, because walking away empty-handed after all that effort feels like a loss. Car dealerships are notorious for this. Come in for our $199 per month lease special, but that deal only applies to one specific car with no options that's never actually available. Black Friday sales do this too. Doorbuster, 75-inch TV for $299, but they only have 5 in stock for a store that serves 50,000 people. It's legal bait, but it's psychological manipulation. The defense? Call ahead and confirm availability, and be willing to walk away if the deal changed. Trick 15. Emotional storytelling. This is the most powerful manipulation of all, because it doesn't feel like manipulation. Brands don't sell you products anymore. They sell you stories, identities, emotions. Nike doesn't sell shoes. They sell the story of overcoming adversity. Apple doesn't sell phones. They sell the story of being a creative rebel. Coca-Cola doesn't sell soda. They sell the story of happiness and togetherness. And it works because stories bypass your logical brain entirely. When you hear a story, your brain releases oxytocin. That's the trust hormone. You stop analyzing, you start feeling. That's why charity ads show you one suffering child instead of statistics about millions. That's why insurance commercials show families, not policy details. That's why every Super Bowl ad makes you cry or laugh instead of listing product features. They're not selling to your logic, they're selling to your emotions. And once they've hooked your emotions, your wallet follows. The truth? A good story doesn't make a bad product good. Separate the emotion from the purchase decision. These 15 tricks are being used on you right now, on every website you visit, in every store you walk into, on every ad you scroll past. The average person sees 6,000 to 10,000 ads per day, and every single one is engineered using these psychological manipulations. But now you know. You can't unsee it. The next time you feel that urgent need to buy something, pause. Ask yourself, am I making this decision or is someone making it for me? Which of these 15 tricks hit you the hardest? Drop a comment below. And if you want to protect yourself from even more psychological manipulation, subscribe, because I'm breaking down the dark side of human behavior every single week. Your wallet will thank you.